This is a hitch extender. I don't know what the hitch mount truck bed extender. So my kayak, as you can see, is quite lengthy, and Buddy has a ocean, or that's a canoe, sorry. Buddy has an ocean kayak that's going to come out quite a ways, especially with my bed box up in there. So this is what comes in the kit. It's got two poles. Take it, that slides up inside that one. There's this piece, which is likely the T. That orange flag, and a box of bolts. So I'm gonna put it together and stick it on the truck, see what it looks like. All right, so that's what's in the bag. Two of these, pin, clasp, or hitch pin, I guess you could call it. Allen wrench, like I already have 500 of those good things from putting stuff together. Two Allen head screws, look like 1/2 inch. 3 bolts, looks like 9/16. 2 brackets and 5 nuts. So I'll read the instructions and start putting it together. Alright, so that's your assembly instructions. More than adequate for me, may not be for everybody. Start out with your biggest tube. These are 2 different sizes. This one has red and white stickers on it. You're going to use this. This is what actually goes into the receiver of the truck. So at the end, where these 2 holes are, you're going to take this piece, slide it in, and these bolts are 2 different sizes. So the long bolts are for these metal brackets. Short bolt is what goes in here. Line that up, stick that in like that. I'll do it with one hand. And this goes in like so. And the other bracket goes on the other side, like this. There's that. And let me get the other bolt. Basically what you're gonna do, swing this up to here, slide that bolt in. Like that. Take this bracket over here, like that. And then you're gonna put a washer and a nut on all 3 of these and tighten them up. That'd be step 1. So I'll pause there, I'll get the nuts in and snug it up. Alright, I haven't tightened anything. This is what it should look like. Lock, nut, and washer on all 3. Then you're going to take this piece, put it on this T, line the holes up, and then you're going to use these screws, bolts, like that. Like that. You use a washer and a nut. Once again, kind of difficult to do with one hand. Washer, nut, washer, nut. So I'll put washers and nuts on this. I'll tighten all this up, and then this goes in the end right here. So you'll take this nut off, put your washer on the bottom, stick it through like that. Take your washer and nut that came with it, washer on, and then your nut. Do the exact same thing on the other end. So I'm going to tighten all these bolts up on this assembly and this, and then I'll come back. Alright, to put it together, this short bolt that goes in here is a 11/16. Both nuts are 11/16. These nut heads for these longer bolts are 5/8. So you're going to need 11/16 5/8, and probably 11/16 wrench. You can put your ratchet on one side, so 5/8, 5/8, 11/16. All the nuts are 11/16. So that's the rig you'll need. These are 1/2 inch, and that is 11/16 as well. So 11/16, 5/8, and 1/2 inch is what you'll need. When you get these started, I'll show you a little trick to keep these from spinning around, and you can use your wrench to do it. Alright, I did all this with a shallow well. So if you put your wrench in there like that, it will keep that from spinning on you. You don't need to torque these down super tight, because you will bend the metal. You just need to get it good and snug. That will help you hold that eye loop straight while you're torquing. That's it. One more thing, the Allen wrench that comes with it, you're going to need that for these top bolts that go on this T. So at this point, you should have this. Eye loops on both sides, T attached. This has all the holes in it. You should have 2 brackets. Everything should be good and snug. Like I said, you don't have to torque it down a whole lot. These are lock nuts. They should not back off. If you want, you could put a lock nut on this side, but those lock nuts are more than sufficient. I mean, you could put a lock washer on one side. That is it. Now, the way this goes together, this part slides in your Reese hitch, and then you take this T and slide it in here. And then you just lift this up the height you want it and use your pin to lock it in whatever hole you want it on. So I'll hook it up to my truck and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, that's it assembled. I just stood on it. I'm 250 pounds. It's rated for 350. So it appears to be pretty heavy duty. You put this orange flag on your pin before you lock it in. Most states, if you extend out, I don't know what it is, depends on where you're at. I think 4 foot past the edge of the vehicle, it's got to have some kind of marker. So should be able to lay the tailgate down, and it just sticks in your receiver just like anything else does. So that gives me a good, I don't know, that's at least 3 feet off the edge of the tailgate. And then as heavy duty as this is, I could come out another 2 or 3 feet